pets are made to have fun, to bring joy to our lives. That's why they're here. They're here for us. So we've got to give them a quality of life so they can do that.
Our shelter is like a lot of other shelters. It's way too small, it's outdated, it's old.
In 1964, when they built the shelter and we occupied in 65, what was known about animal care and animal welfare is certainly not what we know today. We've come so far, we've learned so much in what it takes to care for an animal, care for a pet. And so as technologies improve and as our understanding increases of animal welfare and the care, so you know that when you have a trough-style plumbing or sewage system, that where from one kennel where it starts and you wash it down all the way down to the very end of the kennel, and it passes 15, 16 kennels along the way, and perhaps that bacteria makes a little pit stop at one particular cage, and now a dog becomes exposed to bacteria and disease when its paw goes into the trough accidentally, or its toy or whatever. Even the materials of the concrete, if it's porous or if it's not porous, and its ability to absorb bacteria and retain that bacteria and harbor it, that all plays a part. We need to give a quality of life and truly the spirit of animal welfare, good and adequate living conditions, so that the necessary space so they can be dogs and have a little room to run around and just have fun. I mean, that's what they do.
I think in the past 3 to 4 years we've made some huge changes down there. You can see that in our numbers. When I first started, we took in over 12,000 animals. This past year, we're at a little over 10,000. Well, we started a low-cost spay-neuter program about a year ago. In that year, we've done 600, at least, low-cost spay-neuter animals. They're taken individually, one by one, into the clinic, which is 16 foot by 8 foot. It's an extremely small clinic. It's a trailer. Okay. It's a trailer. You hook it up to the back of a truck and you can pull it off. I mean, it's literally a trailer that 3 people have to be in, very, very small corners. There's a doctor and 2 technicians. Every time you walk in there, they're surrounded by cages. They have about 8 cages inside of the clinic, but that's it. So all of those animals that are waiting to come into surgery or recovering had to go into the front office because we just don't have the space.
You see the tragedy of life just wasted and being thrown away and being tossed aside.
We have a problem here. I can't compare it to other counties, but we have a problem here. And I think that over the past few years, we've seen more of them, and that's, again, those people are being educated. And the community's not going to tolerate it anymore. They're not going to look away.
Well, PD last September 26th was brought in. He had been roaming the streets of San Luis, Arizona. He was a huge matted ball of horrible dreadlock fur, and his little mouth was glued shut. So, Petey was starving and needed a drink of water. So the shelter people decided, let's try and save this little dog. So his fur was stripped off. PetSmart groomers stripped his fur, and they cut open his mouth, and I took him home. And I really didn't think he would survive the first night, but bless his little heart, he did. He tried to bite me all the time, and but I knew he didn't feel good. And he only weighed 9 pounds. He has stolen my heart. Little guy weighs 27 pounds, so he's tripled his weight. He's as happy as a little clam, and he's quite the little boss. He tells everybody, get out of his way, and he's a sweet little dog, and he probably makes us laugh more than any dog we have ever owned. He's very happy, and we love him.
Yuma has the ability to do some awesome things. They have the ability to be at the top of the bar in regards to animal cruelty and how they're handled and how they're prosecuted. We have the ability to be the forerunners for altering animals. You know, nobody in the state has ever done 1,000 animals over a 4-day weekend. Nobody in the state's ever tried to do huge spay-neuter clinics for places out in the rural communities such as us. We have the ability to set the standard for the entire state, and we will.
So a new shelter is truly, truly instrumental. It's the only thing that will bring us up to date and to give the quality of life.
You know, they deserve better. They deserve better medical care. They deserve a place to get out and run. They deserve their lungs to be filled with fresh air and not in a tin building where it doesn't get proper air exchange. In the new building, that's what they're going to get. They're going to get care that they probably didn't receive prior.